before you start practicing writing characters in this character workbook, I would like you to pay attention to a few things that would instruct you to take the best advantage of this workbook. Okay, first let's turn to this page that is after the content. Okay, and this is with all the instructions of what each box means in this big box of a character. You're gonna have the rest of the book like this. Each page you got 3 characters, okay? And then every box has the same elements to show you about this particular character that you're learning. And so let's look at this English explanation right here. So you're going to see that they put the traditional characters on the left side and then the simplified on the right side. They're not too much difference. You would find out as the more that you look into, different characters. And for example, this one is Chen, which is my last name. So this is the simplified version. And I would write this too if I, have to, maybe like for my signature, I do that sometimes. And the rest, well, this one is another one that is very different, but it's pretty frequently used. So, and that one too. So there's just not much, it's not much. So don't worry about that. Okay, so let's come back here. Next to the different forms, we're going to look into the radical right here. So this character is ni, which means you. And ni has a person radical on the side, okay? You see the red side, that's the radical. When it's being put on the side as a radical, it would kind of change the form, but it's still, you can still see the similarity over there. So it's a people, it's a person, okay? So this red part is the radical that is being put on the left side. There are many characters that has this radical. So it's very important for you to learn about radicals. Then you would be able to understand characters more. Okay, next you're gonna see the stroke number. There are 2 numbers here. One is without the radical, the other is with the radical. Then there's a list of different forms of that have been evolved over time. So this is how it was like long ago, and then it evolved into this, and now we are using this form, a little bit of a more square, but with the brush looking. So the fonts are different, and you'll find a lot of different fonts on a computer. This one is Kai. The font is called Kai, K-A-I, Kai, but it looks like font that you would get when you use brush to write. Okay, so with pen it would look different, of course, but it's very important because when you use brush, you learn how to make all these different angles, and with all these sharp edge that you lift the brush up to make that, and it's an art. So if you want to learn that in the future, we could also cover that. Next is the stroke order. So you're gonna learn how important it is to write each character following the right order. It would make a difference, and you'll train your brain, because every time you write, then your finger would follow the characters, and you go that, and then you follow that. Every time you do, your muscle memories is stored in your brain. Okay, it's very, very important. Next, we're gonna look at how you pronounce the character. So here is the Mandarin phonetic symbols, which is a little harder for you now, but you'll learn along the way. The next would be easier because you use the alphabet. It's the pinyin, what we call the Hanyu. Hanyu is Chinese language. Hanyu, pinyin. Okay, that would be easy, but the only thing is you have to pay attention to the differences of pronunciation, because it would be pronounced differently than in English. So that sometimes can be confusing, and with tones too. Okay, that would be elements that you have to pay attention to. Then the number right here is about frequency. So it says that the smaller the number, the higher the frequency. So if it gets a little overwhelming to learn all the characters, I would suggest that you just make a list of priority to start those with high frequency first and work your way up. Okay, then here you're going to practice writing them, the characters. So first you'll see that it's been kind of lightly printed here. So you just follow, just kind of right on top of it. Okay, you write on top of it, and here there are two more. It's dotted. Okay, then they're all blank. So you have to pay attention to how each character is structured, and so sometimes you don't pay attention, but more and more you're gonna see how the characters are gripped in different ways, and just to fill this box properly, because it's actually an art. All right, so enjoy learning how to write and read.